So my name is Cory Craig. I'm a librarian at the Physical Sciences and Engineering Library, and I'm going to talk to you briefly about some tools for the Journal of the Future. So most of the things I'm going to talk about are available through the through CDL or UC3, and that's everything up there except author ID. So just a little review. Everyone knows there's 10 UC campuses. There's also a little office that has a great influence on all of us called the University of California Office of the President, or UCOP, which is in Oakland. And CDL, or California Digital Libraries, is sort of an administrative unit for the libraries that is there, and it's a part of UCOP. They negotiate with us, or for us, with various vendors to get UC-wide packages and work on big picture things like the kind of things I'm going to talk about today. So one of the things that UC3, the University of California Creation Center, has put together is data management guidelines. Most of you are aware that both NIH and NSF and some other granting agencies are now requiring a data management plan when you submit a grant. So this is actually a link that you can go back to later on, and because these slides are going to be posted online through the ACS on Campus website, and we'll link to them through our library blog as well. But what this website consists of is a bunch of questions on creating, organizing, managing, and sharing your data. So it asks things like what types of data you're going to produce, what types of identifiers will you have, how will you document the data, how much of it will there be, file formats, how it will be organized, who's it intended for, how long is it retained, how secure, how it will be backed up. So if you can answer all these questions, you're putting together a pretty good data management plan. So that's why that exists, to help you compile your data management plan. It's a checklist and guidelines for developing it. And then there's some additional tools that will help you organize and share your data. So the first one I'm going to talk about is called EasyID. It's a service that will provide either DOIs, digital object identifiers, or ARKs, archive resource keywords. I'm sorry, archival resource key. That can be assigned to any not only digital objects, but other objects as well. So data sets, images, text sequences, the video and audio that we were talking about previously, in addition to non-digital objects. Once you assign these identifiers, it becomes easier to cite them, to manage them, and to share them. You can keep them, you can store them in your own location, or you can use another service that's available called Merit. And Merit is a digital repository service that's available to the UC community. There will be a fee charge for data storage. This is actually new enough that they're still working out what that's going to be. So you can deposit your data or other digital objects there. With the EasyID link, you could refer to them in an article. So if you had video on a particular procedure that's helpful, put the video in Merit, get an EasyID for it, you can cite it in your article. And these things together would go a long way towards meeting grant requirements for data sharing. Okay. eScholarship, Karen talked about a little bit. It's available free to the UC community, open access scholarly publishing platform. So you can deposit various things there, and for grad students, it's also a place to think about putting your thesis or dissertation in addition to depositing it through Progress, which is currently required. I'm going to back up a little bit because I wasn't talking about cost. The data management guidelines, it's a web page and it's available to anyone. EasyID is currently free, but they're going to be charging a subscription fee for it. And the way that I think they imagine it working is you can do it as author groups. So I can see where a PI or a lab would have an account, and then all the lab's data could be deposited there if that's what you want, or assigned an ID and then deposited in Merit if that's what you want. And then eScholarship is free to the UC community. Researcher ID came up previously, and it's a disambiguation of author name service. This is not, there are various versions of author ID, so assigning you, a scientist, a number. Because heaven forbid your name is Smith or Jones or Lee or Chen or something like that. Names written in non-Roman characters provide even more difficulties. So by giving you a number, this is a way to identify clearly all your stuff. Researcher ID is a product of Thompson ISI. They make Web of Science. They make various other things. You go there, you register, you get a number, it's free, and you can list all of your stuff there. So everything that's published in the Web of Science database would come up automatically, and then you could add other additional things there later. So I know some people from UC Davis already have these. You can check and see other people from UC Davis that have them. Other options are ORCID, Open Researcher and Contributor ID. It's the same kind of thing, kind of being done through the open science kind of community. OpenID is a standard for how these would apply. And then I've listed 2 fairly recent articles that talk about this, one from Science and one from PLOS, Computer Biology, that talk about the general concept. And for people just starting out, it's a real good thing to do. My last slide has sort of nothing to do with this talk, but since we've got a bunch of grad students here, there's a science grad student's guide to the library. The link is there. You can also get it through our webpage. And then there's links to our Physical Sciences and Engineering Library and the Searledge Library Bio and Ag Sciences Department. That's all I've got. Thank you.